What's up, everybody? Welcome. Little surprise afternoon Monday show. We're about to discuss the New York Jets training camp preview, which got veterans reported today. Rookies have already been there for a week. And I'm going to be joined in a few minutes by a friend of the show. So, here we go. What's up, gentlemen? We got Vino here. Dark Soldiers here. Adam's going to join me in a few minutes. Just wanted to give a training camp preview, some of the storylines to look forward to, keep an eye out on. Becton showed up today and looks completely different than he did 6 weeks ago. Oh, perfect timing. Without further ado, let's welcome Adam. What's up, buddy?
I'm doing well. How about yourself, Nick? How are you doing today?
Can't complain. Excited about Becton. I will admit I had some questions about him earlier on, and he answered them all, right? Like, and I can't think anybody's not pleasantly surprised with what they saw today. You have to look at the situation and say, you know what? There were some concerns, even from the most optimistic of fans, which I've been called at times. There were some questions, and I think the way he showed up today is a very good sign. I know I teased in our Twitter group chat. I was like, all this just to get traded. But yeah, I think you have to be happy. You have to be happy as a Jet fan that he made the target. Rumors are that there could have been a weight stipulation and maybe starting to get fined if he didn't report today at a certain weight.
Okay.
So kudos to him if that's true. Kudos to him for getting to where he is.
You know, it looks good on the outside. Now we got to see him on the field come practice. That's going to be that's the ultimate test. But you know what? So far, it's all systems go, and yes, I am very happy to see that.
Agreed, Dark Soldier. Agreed, he does. You know, if he's down at 360, it's only better for his knees, right? We want this man getting to week one as healthy as he possibly can, because it makes us a better team. And I just tweeted that out, and I commented that. I tagged him in it. I was like, this man playing at his best makes us a better force on offense, which is true. You got him and Tomlinson playing together on that left side. Zach might not have to throw a pass to win a game. We can run off the left side the entire game and get first down after first down. Granted, we'll mix in a little bit on the right because we got Vera Tucker and Fant over there. But this, to me, is great news today. It was a great story to see. It was a great picture to see. And, everyone overreacted last week with the PUP list. But everyone forgets, when you report in the offseason, you have to pass the conditioning test to get activated. Like the OTAs, everyone shows up. And the first thing they do is go through their conditioning test to make sure they're able to participate. So guys who haven't done that yet start on the PUP list because you're physically unable to participate in practice, which is what the PUP list means, until you clear the conditioning screening. So it was a major overreaction, and it's typical Jet fans, right? Like, if they don't know what it means, they go 0 to 60 to overreactville as fast as they can.
Right, because you can be activated off this PUP list at any time during the preseason.
Yeah.
Right.
Once you pass the test, you're off.
And that's it. So, I mean, the Patriots put about 5 or 6 guys, and I didn't see any Patriots fans trying to call mama. I didn't see that going down.
I don't want to say it's lack of knowledge by fans. I just think it's overreactville. So maybe it is kind of.
We're always afraid the worst is going to happen. We're just waiting for the first shoe to drop.
Yes.
That's all it is. We're fatalists. We're fatalistic. That's what we are.
It's PTJD, right? It's post-traumatic Jets disorder.
We got apparently the greatest nutritionist in the world, according to Quinnen also, but apparently we need the same level of a sports psychologist to work on all the Jets fans to get us to get our minds fairly sound again. But I want to hear from this nutritionist. I want to hear the plans. I want to hear the secrets. We all got to go on the Becton diet. I want to know what the secret is. Because apparently it's working well.
Yeah, and quickly too. So good for him. Kudos to him. I mean, that for us, right, as Jets fans, I think that's storyline number one for the offseason is or the training camp.
Yes.
Becton. that to me puts our offense up a couple more notches. I think if you have that left side of Tomlinson and Becton playing at their best, that only gives us more credibility. Like force is the best word I could think of, because with those two human beings blocking and protecting Zach's backside and the run game, because they're both outstanding run blockers also. I think only good things can happen from this. You know, we pray to God that he makes all 17 games and is out there for every game.
And you know, it was pretty well talked about that Zach only had on average between 2 and 3 seconds to throw a pass last year. I mean, the pocket was collapsing so quickly around him, and that led to problems. That really did a lot to ruin Sam, did a lot to ruin David Carr, and there's many other quarterbacks in that situation. And Zach really seemed to keep his composure. He got better as the year went on. You know, he figured out what to do, what not to do, and he figured, knowing when to throw the ball away versus when to take a chance. I think that was one of the biggest things that I saw him get better at over the course of the season. You give him, if his time in the pocket can go over to 4 seconds even, from 2 to 4, my gosh, he's going to have that much more time. These new receivers have a chance to get open. This offense could be, I hesitate to use the E word, but I'm going to use it. It could be explosive.
Oh, I thought you were going to say elite. I was thinking elite.
No, we ain't going that level. but an explosive potential offense. And, how many yards? It's 5 yards, 10 yards. As much as I love Michael Carter, he isn't the home run hitter that some of these other guys are, and the receivers we had last year, like Crowder wasn't going to do that. Keelan Cole did it one time. 2 times. He had the one long reception. He had a touchdown against Buffalo,
which he fell on and could have scored.
And he fell down on, exactly.
Yeah.
And now
Titans
we
game, right?
And now we
that
have
was the first
guys
big pass Zach had in the Titan game, and then he hit the other one to Corey Davis.
That's right. Corey was the touchdown. Cole was the pass down the field that wasn't a touchdown. But that was So that's what happened there. White was against Cincinnati. So
but collectively, now you look at this offensive line, and you got to do the Derek Jeter fist bump, right? You got to do here we go. We all the pieces are there now. You have the weapons at wide receiver. You got the dogs in the backfield. You got tight ends. You got the line. Now we need LaFleur and Zach Wilson to come together and figure out how to make it work. Get the ball out on time. Get the ball to your playmakers. If you got to dump it into the flat to Carter and Hall, do it quickly. Don't wait. Your pocket's going to be there. You're going to have guys open. We know this offensive system is built for catch and run. You got the guys who can catch and run. Get the ball out, man. Be the facilitator. Get it. Move the chains. Don't try to play hero ball. Let your guys do what they do best. Get them the ball and let's go. Which coincidentally brings us to my number 2 thing. Zach's progression. How's he getting the ball out? He's a great thrower. He's a great passer. Arm talent's there. That's the progress I want to see. Mentally. Trusting your eyes. Getting the ball out on time. Being a leader. If you don't like something, start to call guys out on it. It's year 2. It's your system. Your offense. I don't care if Tomlinson's 29, 30 years old. And he's going to be probably your other captain on offense. I want to see my quarterback taking charge. You don't like something, say something. What are you looking for with Zach?
For me, I have a feeling. I've been thinking about how other defenses. If I'm an opposing defense, what do I do against the Jets? Because typically it's just let's just do what we do, but there's no player that you really have to game plan against. I feel like that's been the case for years now. I feel like the last player we really had that you had to game plan for was Brandon Marshall in 2015. It's probably been that long. Maybe Robbie, maybe if you want to go there, but I don't know. To me,
Robbie was a one-trick pony, right? You just had
for the most part. He got better later, but he might have his 1 or 2, a few catches a game, but he wasn't like a consistent threat. So I think this is going to be a situation where different defenses are going to want to take away certain players. One might want to focus on a tight end. One might want to focus on Corey Davis. One might want to focus on Elijah Moore. It is up to Zach and Michael LaFleur also. We have to include him.
Yeah.
They have to recognize what is this defense trying to do How do we counter it? It's all about counters. How many times have we heard about over the years, Bill Belichick, after he sees what the other offense does on the first play, he will go back, rip up the whole game plan, and start all over based off what they're doing. You know what? That's the type of willingness to change and to adapt on the fly that the best coaches can do. And if Mike LaFleur and Zach Wilson can do that together, I'm going to be really excited about it. So, yes, recognition, play recognition, and also leadership. And when I say leadership, I guess I'm talking about the clutch gene, meaning that they're going to be in a lot of close games this season. A lot. I don't think that you're going to see too many blowouts one way or another.
49er football, which we've discussed a lot, right? Close.
Good for me. Guys, get your Zantac ready to go because your heart's going to be racing for 4 months watching this tape. But, yeah, what I want to see is when we're tied and we got to get down the field to score, we're down by a touchdown, can we drive the field late and do that? He didn't have a whole lot of chances to really do that last season. That is like that intangible that I want to see this season from Zach Wilson.
But we saw it at the end in the Tampa game, right? They went down the field and took the lead.
We saw it one time.
And that was a good sign. That to me, against a good playoff team, was good. It was a very good sign of things to come. And the issue with that, we scored too quickly. Mix it around.
Yeah, because we gave that all 6 seconds.
Let it run to the 2-minute warning. Like let's not score so quick, Zachary. Something Snowball said. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm going to catch up after the show and watch. Salah did an interview today.
Do they post them? They don't even post these things live. I think they usually archive them. Do they? Are these posted live on the Jets website?
If you have the Jets app, they do go live often with the coaches, but you got to get the notification from the app.
Right.
I don't think they go live on YouTube. I think
they definitely don't on YouTube.
Jets app.
Yeah, because so far I've just seen players, but I haven't seen the coaches. So if that's the case, then yeah, I mean I would have to make sure that those are on. Enable beacon communicate, enable notifications. Yeah, live video. Yeah,
okay. And to add on what we were saying before we move to the next topic, or the next thing to watch for, is what the hell was that? Jeez. Don't forget last year we lost John Knapp right before Greg Knapp. I'm sorry.
Greg Knapp.
John Knapp was the guy who used to work for me. Greg Knapp.
I was wondering.
Yeah. Long story, strange guy. But Greg Knapp we lost last year, right before training camp opened. And don't forget, LaFleur wasn't going to be involved in the passing game. Knapp was the passing game coordinator. So everybody kind of found new roles as the offensive coaching staff right as camp opened. And, we've discussed at length about how once Wilson went out with the injury, there was no more babying the quarterback. You don't care if Mike White, Josh Johnson, Joe Flacco fail. You threw them into the fire and you opened up the passing game and you saw what the offense could do throwing the ball. So I think you're going to see an open passing attack this year because I don't think there's any more kid gloves, right? Like this team is going in the right direction and it's time to sink or swim. And what you saw Zach do at the end of the year after coming back from the injury was very impressive to me. He wasn't turning the ball over. Granted, he was taking sacks, but you didn't have Davis, Crowder, Moore, Barrios. You barely played with all four of those guys together. And I think when he came back from the injury, they were never together, all four of them. So there's go ahead.
I think you're right. I don't think they were. And even if they were there, look who we had at tight end and look how beat up the offensive line was. I mean, we've turned over half the offensive line at this point.
Yeah. So I think, what's up, Mess? How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Matthias.
Continue improvement through the season, something. Yeah. Agreed, Matthias. Welcome, buddy. Thanks for joining. Greg Knapp, Greg Knapp. I said the guy who used to work for me was John Knapp. I'm sorry. Buffalo, what's up, buddy? You catching any big fish out there? Buffalo couldn't join us today. He's out fishing.
Yeah, fishing for Find any dolphins out there?
What's up, brother? How you doing? Thank you for joining us.
Sluggo.
Buffalo had a solid point. We only won 4. So we came back to 10. Yeah, good point.
I mean, the NFL is so unpredictable. There's probably no league where you could have a faster turnaround than the NFL. It just changes so much year to year. Every year, there's one or two teams that nobody can predict who emerges, who becomes a legitimate playoff contender or makes a big playoff run like the Bengals did.
Yeah.
I am hard-pressed to find one publication or one news outlet that has the Jets winning 6 games, though. I can't think of one. I've seen 5, but I have not seen 6 yet. So I got to be honest. I see enough of that kind of publicity, and I'm like, are we just overhyping our team, or do we know better than all these other people do?
Dark Soldier, I had this comment up. If you're talking to me in the chat, this is the last comment I have from you.
Can't wait to see Brees run the ball. I think he's going to be an upgrade. Yep. Summer Brees. Yes.
Where do you see that? Oh.
I'm just looking at the comment right there.
I was scrolling back. I'm sorry. I was scrolling back in case there was another comment that I missed.
Is this a trick question right here? Okay.
Let's move on to the next training camp storyline that I want to keep an eye on. The rookies.
Mm-hmm.
The rookies, right? Like
we got a few
class. We've said it since draft day. This class, you can put the bullet point there. You put the thumbtack in this moment in Jets history. This is the class. When you went back to 2000, we had a good core with that draft, right? I think this class could be better. I think Gardner. I think John Abraham's should be borderline eventually Hall of Fame. 133 sacks. Yeah, he's up there. Or 113. I think he's top 10 all time in sacks. John Abraham should be a Hall of Famer. Granted, he wasn't with us for his entire career, but when you're up there in sacks, you should get into the Hall of Fame eventually. He was a game changer. He was a game wrecker. And when you look at guys that we've drafted throughout the years, you had Revis, you had Ferguson and Mangold. David Harris, not a Hall of Famer, but a very solid Jet for a long time. I think you can look at this class and say we should have at least 2 guys that could be Hall of Fame type of careers. I think you look at Gardner. I think you look at Brees Hall with the way we're going to commit to the run. And I think you're going to look at guys who could have Hall of Fame careers. Hall's coming in a time in the league where it's running back by committee. But if this guy could play 7-8 years as a legit one running back, I pray to God he does. I think he's going to have over 10,000 yards. I think he's going to be putting 14 to 16 up every year with maybe a year or 2 higher than that. I think our commitment to run and his ability, I pray to God, knock on wood, this man stays healthy. He stays healthy with this line and our commitment to running the ball, you're looking at a fantastic career in an era where you don't really see too many running backs going for that long, right?
Mm-hmm. One of my biggest hopes with
anymore.
Sorry. No. One of my things with Brees is he had so much use at Iowa State. Like the offense went through him. He had I don't know how many touches, but I think it was like 800 touches, 900 touches. I think in like the last year or two. I mean, he was getting so much usage. And so I like the idea of him being maybe part of like 60-40, 70-30 with Michael Carter. I don't like the idea of a bell cow running back anymore with the way that this league is and as short as these shelf lives are. I mean, Chris Carson just retired today. It feels like I was just watching his ascent like 5 minutes ago. Now he's already retired. I don't know if I could ever say anybody has Hall of Fame potential coming out of the draft. You could see a certain level of talent. Now, I'm willing to go all pro. I could see that in Gardner. I could see that in if I had a Gardner, I could see it in. But I'm trying to think between Wilson, Johnson, and Brees. If I had to bet on one of them completely hitting, my best bet, I'm going to think it's Garrett Wilson. I have a lot of confidence in Garrett Wilson. I love how good he is as an all-around player, and I think he's going to be around more. I'd say the only real concern that I have about him is will he have an issue with drops? but I think he can do literally anything you could want a wide receiver to do. Garrett Wilson can do it, and I think it's been a long time since we've had that type of wide receiver. Man, Michael Clemens is unbelievable. Nick, I actually thought that was you walking in when I saw Clemens coming in.
I wish I'd be doing the podcast shirtless if that was me, man. I would never wear a shirt. Michael Clemens walks up to stores that say no shoes, no shirt, no service, and he walks in anyway and gets served immediately.
In more ways than one. Okay.
That's what she said. Nice.
Thank you. It's not Friday night yet. We're only 3 days away.
Oh, darn. I didn't even see your comment when I made my joke, buddy. Well done. We're on the same page.
And rumor has it 80s game. Yeah, he did that 80s, so we got to actually hear his voice again. And he didn't know. He saw a picture of Full House. He didn't know who what the cast of Full House looked like. I'm like, oh my god.
Nice.
But thank God Sauce Gardner knew who Patrick Ewing was. If Sauce didn't know Patrick Ewing, I'd be like, I don't know about this draft pick anymore.
I saw that. I saw that video, and I was like, that'd be great if he was like Alonzo Mourning. The Kembe Mutombo. Just started naming other Georgetown centers. I had in mind. Yeah. Yeah. Whitehead's freaky without a shirt. Oh, Jordan Whitehead. Okay, I was wondering for a moment there. Okay. We beat the Ravens week 1. Nick does an extreme shirtless. We're trying to get people on the shows, not scare them away, Vino. We beat the Ravens.
Clemens just gives
week
the
1.
Yeah. Bet.
Vino, bet. I might be in a sports bra, but I'll do it. You said shirtless.
That is fair.
Vino, remember this. I make this guarantee right now. We beat the Ravens that day. I will go shirtless and go live from the parking lot.
Noted. All right, noted. All 10 of us? How many people are in the chat right now? Yeah, we are all witnesses. We're all witnesses for that one. Yep. Yeah, 10 of us. All right, noted. All very good. Security guard, understandable. Have a great day. Absolutely.
I got another person going to join us. It's going to be his first time. Go ahead and do me a favor and talk it up while I get the email off to him.
All right, I'm just going to jump in. I want to see what the chat's saying there real quick. I got to turn the volume down. Okay, run should set the pass. I'm just looking forward to the next Michael Clemens press conference. I'm looking forward to hearing what a lot of these guys have to say. And, I guess one of the things, though, with these press conferences, it feels like we're not really riling up any feathers. You're not going to hear anything controversial. I feel like every time Rex had a press conference, I couldn't miss it. I had to watch it that minute. I had to be the first one to watch it. And I feel like there's been almost nobody like that since. So I wonder who would really get, like, I know it's a little thing, but like the Good Guy Media Award, because I feel like all these guys say basically the same type of thing. Oh, and did anybody watch the Quinnen Williams press conference? If so, how many times did he say the word man? If you ever need a good drinking game, just take a shot every time Quinnen Williams says the word man. You will be out in 4 minutes if you're. You
said that before. I remember earlier in the offseason,
yes.
OTAs, you said that.
I did, but yeah, he was interviewed today, so it was definitely something that I thought about. Hey, I saw AVT and Tomlinson did some work together in the offseason. I was happy to see that, although I hope Connor McGovern was there with them. I would feel a lot better if McGovern was there as well.
Hey, man,
Sluggo, he's I
might be blushing right now. I used to think it was high blood pressure, but now I'm on 4 blood pressure meds. So now it's just straight. I'm blushing. Yes, it's not high blood pressure.
Particularly, Nick, when you had like the one shoulder kind of pulled down a little bit. That was particularly memorable.
I did gain a few subs that night. So
the Giant strap came down.
Oh my God. Did I tell you about my plan for the home opener with the boy?
I think you may have alluded that you're coming up with a plan. What have you got in mind?
He's going to be the photographer for the day. And Mark Riss made me a QR code. He's going to have a lanyard on with the QR code that takes you to proud New York Jets fans. And I'm going to have the boy taking photos of everybody in the parking lot and in the hangar, and scan the QR code, follow my page. We make a video montage of all the pictures from that day, share it, and then, yes, Matt, 24/7, Ryan, Green Bean, everyone shares the stream with, hey, this is us from the hangar. This kid took all these pictures. Check it out. boom, page explodes.
Sounds pretty good. I mean,
Brilliant idea,
I know
right?
that for myself, Jeremy, Buffalo, we're doing the post game thing starting week 2. I know we're not doing it week 1, so yeah. I mean, after the game week 1, who knows what I'll be doing? Well, Snowball, we're assuming they're going to win the game. That there is that little caveat. So, and yeah, I think the Ravens are not a good matchup for the Jets. It is that's one of the most difficult matchups we could have, and it just happens to be week 1. But you know what? Let it be. You know, we are 2-9 all time against the Ravens. You know, we have a brutal history against the Ravens. So I'm going to give you like a little note. You know that in our history, we average 14 points a game against Baltimore, by far the lowest against any team in the league. AFC.
We're going to have that in the first quarter.
You know what? That's just one sign. I know history only means so much, but you know what? If we talk about how we've never beaten the Eagles, how we haven't beaten the Bears in 22 years, how we haven't beaten the Patriots in 7 years, this type of stuff, you could go to it. So, and you know what? The other thing, we've gotten past 20 points on them in only 2 of those games. Also, we not only do we lose a lot, we don't score against the Ravens traditionally. Yeah. So this is
this is.
I
don't cut you off. Let me bring in our next guest.
Yeah. Who we got?
Hey, how you doing?
I want to welcome Kevin Robbins. He's from Live Rounds. What else you from? I know you got your hand in everything, man. Go ahead. Tell everybody where you're from and what's up with you.
That's what she said.
Thank you.
Nice. You guys are on a roll already, and I haven't even started yet. But hey, nice to meet everybody out there. And I'm on Jets Guru, where every other Thursday we'll be on every Thursday, pretty soon once the season starts, with Daniel Smith. You can find our YouTube channel. We're live up on Facebook, like I said, every Thursday, including this upcoming Thursday. And once in a while, you'll see me on Weapons Hot with CJ D. Simone, who puts on quite a show also. So
yeah, he's a friend of the show. I've been on there a few times with him. I'm the calm one on the show. You know it's wild.
Yeah. You need like CJ and Jets Jude together doing a show together. Can you imagine that dynamic going back and forth? Wow.
It'd be an advertisement for blood pressure medication and Xanax. So what's up, Kev? We're catching up, just to catch you up on where we're at. We're doing some storylines from training camp. The first one was Becton showing up today. Give us your thoughts real quick on that. All right, next topic was the progression.
No, I got the Becton shirt on today, man. I never had a doubt, man. I never had a doubt. I know there was a lot about him being overweight. You know, his wife's having a baby. He's going through all those things. But he never seemed not dedicated to me. Love the work that he does with Duke Mayweather. You always see the videos up on Duke's site. And I never thought that he was going to not come to camp ready to go. I think he is disappointed about left tackle. I think he has a lot of pride. And I think that he's going to come and prove a lot of Jets fans wrong. The only thing that he can't control, health, man. You can't control getting hurt.
You can't control Van Rotten getting thrown back on your knee.
Yeah, you can.
And
right?
just to let you know, if you ever reference him on here, my channel rule is you have to call him Van Rotten. We don't call him Rotten. It's Van Rotten. We've changed his name. We're trying to legally get it done, but he won't sign off on it.
Yeah, you can't have your teammates being picked up and thrown under your legs, man. No bueno.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a recipe for failure. Second topic, progression to Zach Wilson, right? A couple things we said: get the ball out on time, trust your eyes, don't hold on to it. You're going to have a nice pocket to throw from. You got all the weapons built around you to succeed and take a couple steps in year 2. What are you looking for from Zach?
Man, take the easy ones and don't be a superhero. He doesn't have to be a superhero. With this run game, with these running backs, with this healthy offensive line, fingers crossed on the word healthy, right? Big underline, big exclamation point. We need the O-line healthy. But, man, you got Carter and Hall to dump it out of the backfield. Your tight end should be able to control the middle of the field and take calculated shots, right? Don't be afraid to make the easy throws, man. We don't need him to be Aaron Rodgers with this roster that Joe Douglas has put together. He should be one of the pieces that makes the offensive work. Just get it in your playmakers' hands. Keep it easy. And if he does that, I think if he gets his completion percentage around 64, 65%, we can see some big things from him. He didn't have any red zone turnovers last year, not one. One of the only quarterbacks in the NFL to have no red zone turnovers. So he's pretty smart with the ball. We just need to get his completion percentage up. and let him trust his playmakers to make a 3-yard play, 7 or 8 or 9, right? And these guys can all do it. Some of these guys will take it to the house. So really excited to see how he matures within the offense this year.
And you know what's going to help that drop percentage, completion percentage, is not having a 12% drop rate like he did last year. So that by itself should increase the completion percentage, right?
The weapons, right?
Yeah. So Ty Johnson, thank you for your service. I hope you get cut. I mean that with all the best intentions in the world.
We hope you land somewhere else, but just don't. We don't want to see. We want to see you land like the balls you drop land. Go land somewhere.
Well, I mean, I even love who's the undrafted kid that we brought in. We got like 3.
Damn night.
Really
Bam.
Yeah.
You got to do it like every now. Bam.
How do you forget that? Nah, but even the tight ends, with the depth that we have at tight ends, I mean, we should be able to keep this offense like real simple. It's nice. When have we had tight ends, guys? When was the last time?
Dustin Keller.
I'm gonna have to go back to the encyclopedia.
Dustin Keller, Jeff Cumberland, like.
Yeah, try multiple though. I mean, who was there with Keller? Ben Hartsock.
Oh,
I think that was the backup tight end back then.
Cumberland came in near the end of Keller, right? I think Cumberland is the reason they let Keller go.
I couldn't stand Cumberland
as having a tight end. I'm not counting that.
Cumberland was like you talk about a guy they kept about 3-4 years longer than they needed to. That was Jeff Cumberland. I felt like we could. He was like a cockroach. We couldn't get rid of him no matter how hard we tried.
Guys, we're going to be going back to like Johnny Mitchell and Kyle Brady. We're gonna go like, wait, when did we have two tight ends?
That was a killer combination in Super Tecmo Bowl on Super Nintendo. You threw the post over the middle to Johnny Mitchell. He took it to distance. He split the safeties and was gone.
Bubba
Johnny
Franks,
Mitchell
we had for a year with the far
days.
season.
We're going way back.
Hey,
that was an explosive offense in Super Tecmo Bowl.
We had Chris Baker for a little bit. He was halfway decent. That was about as good as we had back then.
Forgive me if I don't mention my favorite name of all time, Jojo Townsel. The speed of JoJo. I try to get that reference in, Kevin, once a show. I try to get a JoJo Townsel reference in once a show.
He was a wide receiver, not a tight end, but he really tried, and a returner, but he was not a tight end. He was just
no. When we talked to Super Tecmo Bowl, it was Rob Moore and JoJo Townsel and Terrence Mathis were the receiving core in that.
Another guy we let go too quickly.
Absolutely.
That list is infinite, right? We could start going with Hugh Douglas, and man, we would be here all day, like all
Aaron
the teams that we should.
John Riggins,
Abraham, right?
Verlin Biggs.
Yeah, we would be going on for a long time.
Although Keyshawn Strait did give us Chad Pennington, so I can't complain about that one.
Yeah, and I wasn't complaining about the wide receivers when we had Coles, Moss, and Crabette, right? We should have just re-signed Coles so we could have kept them together and not had to swap out Moss for Coles back then.
Yeah.
So, what else we got on the slate, fellas?
Well, guys, I hate to tell you this, but I gotta head back to the office.
Oh, do you? This is your lunch break?
Yeah, I'm on lunch break right now. I came home awesome. And but I just want to jump on for a little bit and I'll just throw out real quick. I can't wait to see Green Bean and Connor Hughes tonight on the same show. That is going to be fun.
On what show?
On Green Bean show after
Hughes is coming on?
Oh yeah. Green Bean's having Connor on tonight, like 10:30. Yeah. Nice.
Any word yet? I know Connor hasn't said it. He said August 1st he starts his new thing. Do we know where he is? He says he's going to be at Jets camp. So
he hasn't updated his Twitter bio. The Jets do have a new athletic writer now, so they have that announced. Like Zach something, I think it was. But I told him, I said, be fair, be objective, and you're cool. That's all I'm asking. So
nice.
I said welcome.
Connor does have SNY reporter. I wonder if he's going to go full time at SNY. Maybe if they make that leap and bring in him full time, that would be my guess. Based off of every other position is filled, right? There's no Daily News got their new guy, right?
Did they?
Didn't they get someone for DJ?
Did they replace DJ? I didn't think so.
I saw they did.
I didn't see an announcement.
I didn't see it, Nick. Yeah, maybe, but I didn't see it. But then check out Jeremy and I Wednesday night for the Wacky Wednesday. Never know what's going to happen. And I know Green Bean Show is coming back Thursday night, so I'll be there doing some trivia. So
awesome.
And who knows what'll happen on Friday? Maybe we'll have a new list coming up Friday, right?
Oh yeah, I haven't given it. Kev, I do on this channel we do like a Friday night hangout at 9 p.m. And there's been times where Adam and I, along with others like Jets Chaos, Jeremy is a good friend of the show. He's on all the time. Yeah. With it was his idea to do it on my channel, Kudos to him for throwing that over here. But we go sometimes till 3 o'clock in the morning, man. We've done 6-hour shows on like a Friday night, like.
And that's during the off season.
Yeah,
that's how sick we are.
Everybody does their
generic commercials to take pee breaks or something.
No, it's just get up and the walls behind me.
Dude, we don't get the sponsorship money like others do.
Yeah, not yet. It's just, hey, I gotta go to the bathroom, take over, or I gotta get another beer.
Exactly. I'll be back in like 2. I'll be back in 2. I'll do like that's pretty. Either I'm getting another beer or I'm taking a piss. It's one or the the So.
Yeah.
You guys have a great rest of the day, and we'll talk later. Go Jets.
All right, take care, buddy. Thanks for joining. Dark Soldier, what picture are we talking about? Maybe Nick can show it. Show what?
Because remember, Green Bean and Hughes were going back and forth on Twitter, so they had to reconcile first and then agree to do a show together. So,
I would pay to see those DMs.
Yeah, right.
I would pay to see that conversation that went from F you to come on the show. I got to know the beginning of it. I got to know the middle, right? We know the beginning, and now we know the end.
Going on there, but I thought that was pretty funny too.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see it.
Yeah, they're both pretty good guys, though. I mean, anytime you talk to them, like they're both willing to jump in usually, and you just appreciate people that interact with the fans. So I was glad Connor did all that. That was great.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's actually pretty cool, Connor. I guess do it now, right? While you're a free agent, before you're while you're on anything, and they I don't know if they're going to regulate shows he goes on or not, but you're technically a free agent right now till August 1st, so. Pop on the fan show, see what happens.
Man, what are you most worried about heading into camp? What's a position that you're like kind of concerned about?
The usage of Bryce Hall.
Really?
I like the kid. My plan for him, I coach defense for granted it's Pop Warner, but I'm a defensive guy, so I'm always looking at what are you doing schematically. And I've said put him on Mark Andrews week 1. If Mark Andrews is out, Hall's a great tackler in the open field. He's not the fastest of guys, so you're not worried about him getting beat deep by Andrews. But I think the size, the tackling ability, that would be my matchup if they move him out. Like I wouldn't be surprised if Hall is sometimes a linebacker in the 4-2-5 where he can cover the tight end. That's something that I want to see, because the positions we almost know, right? The usage of him. Is he just going to be a backup cornerback? Do you go from starter down to 4th cornerback? Or are they going to have another role for him that we're unaware of yet? And who makes and doesn't make the defensive line cuts? Because you're not taking all these guys. There's going to be some tough cuts. And something we've discussed on the show, we want to be a good enough team where we have some shocking cuts, right? We don't want to know, all right, we got 50 guys in camp who know they're not making the team. We're going to have some cuts where we're the team now where the talent level is rising. I've been saying all this, the water level's rising for this team. There's going to be shocking cuts. What do you think of that?
Twofold on the Hall situation. I think it's interesting because we also don't know our free safety. I was interested to see, it's Pinnock, and then you just move Hall to your dime back, Yeah, I agree. I think there's some mixes in there, but I think that's an embarrassment of wealth, right? I think it's one of those situations loaded up on corners. I mean, I still like Guidry. I like Hall. I think Guidry backing up Carter is an embarrassment of wealth. I think Guidry could start on a lot of teams. Just my opinion. Safety, I still have some questions about. Pinnock, can he play there? In a dime package, we'd essentially have all corners and Whitehead at safety, right? I mean, again, embarrassment of riches where it could look really, really good. My biggest area, and I agree with the cut downs. I think that's why I brought up running back earlier. Who's going to get who's going to make it? Because we brought back Coleman, as you know. Ty Johnson is still at camp. Bam looks like a good player, and that's without bringing up the obvious ones of Hall and Carter, which are your staples. So I think you're right. That's going to be some tough cuts, even within that position group.
Yeah. P. Ryan's probably gone.
Oh, who'd you say?
P. Ryan.
Oh, P. Ryan's got to be gone.
Yeah.
I thought that last year. I was like, yeah, this is it for you. We're going to draft a guy, and you're not going to be the guy. One position I can tell you I have circled is giving me heartburn. is defensive tackle, man. We're
Yeah.
going to be starting Nate Shepard. And I know Jets fans and these comments are going to blow up in a second. And everyone's like, oh, you can just put John Franklin Myers in at defensive tackle. He weighs 280 pounds, man.
Passing downs, yes. Passing downs, I'm okay with.
Yeah,
He's not going to be a run-stuffing D tackle.
No, or they will just run at him. They will just put a guard in the center and put him safety deep. So I don't know about Nate Shepard. I honestly wouldn't have been shocked if we chased down Jordan Davis in the draft. I was shocked we didn't sign, what was it, Oguligon, the guy.
Oh, Larry, I can never say, Ajubani, something like that, Obajoni, something.
Yeah, we need another defensive tackle, losing McClendon and then Farukasi almost like back-to-back and not having a big run stuffer, even for 1 or 2 downs, it does give me a little bit of heartburn. It'll be interesting to see how much Mosley and Whitehead and Quincy can kind of fill that like middle. So, do we have?
If they're making the tackles, they're probably converting 3rd and 1s and 3rd and 2s, right? Unless you blow up the hole in the backfield. But we don't want our linebackers. We want the D line exploding through and getting the tackle for loss.
No,
I think Joe definitely makes a move in training camp at some point in the preseason.
Because what you said, go ahead. Sorry.
Say again. You glitched.
No, I was going to say if we want to play Hall more at linebacker and help on tight ends and help on backs coming out of the field and that type of thing, we got to make stops on 1st and 2nd down. You can't get him on the field.
Yeah, and I'm talking like 3rd and long situations. We get a 3rd and 13, put in Hall to cover the tight end. You know what I mean? And because you're running these athletic tight ends nowadays, I want proof. I know we drafted Sherwood and Nazeldine, and that's supposed to be their role. But I don't think any fan can have trust or faith that they're the guy right now. Me personally, I would rather see Hall come out in some unique coverage packages until these guys show they can do it. But I think JD is looking on the waiver wire for that run stuffing guy. I saw somebody, Jets X Factor maybe it was, put an article out about signing, or they put an article out saying former Jets scout says sign the Dominic Sue. I don't see Sue coming here. I think Sue ring shops at this point, right? He's going to look for the next contender. He's going to wait for an injury maybe somewhere and pop up. But D tackle is a concern. Like I said, especially short downs. We got ran on. We got ran on last year, and we had Fatou Kassi. So we lost our best run defender, and we brought in more pass rushing type of D tackles. So Nathan Shepard becomes your run tackle by default, not because it's his expertise, right?
Yeah.
Which has to be, the reason for the heartburn and the agita you're experiencing.
Yeah, no, 100%. Because like you said, Solomon Thomas, yes, put him in on passing downs, rotate him in with Quinnen here or there, but I'm not putting him in to stop. And granted, our division isn't loaded, right? We don't have Jonathan Taylor in our division. We don't have, Derrick Henry or something like that. We have, scat back style. So maybe that's the thought process. But we also saw New England have a game where they threw the ball 3 times and just ran it down Buffalo's throat until they stopped them. And if we can't stop the run, we're in trouble. So it'll be interesting to see. That's the one linebacker depth too. Nazeldine and Sherwood are coming back from season-ending injuries. What's behind Quincy and what's behind Mosley? I honestly don't know the answer to that question.
Yeah. What was his name? Adam, who just left the show, is always the one to add. I think that image you shared before, the starting rotations, or someone's predictions, had the guy's name in it. He was like a safety convert.
We had Sherwood, we had Nazeldine. I'm not sure.
Where'd you share that? In live rounds or Greenhouse? The projections for the. Here it is. I got it. Marcel Harris. That's the name I always forget. We brought in Marcel Harris.
Yeah.
So that's somebody that they project to be in there too.
Yeah, they're gonna have to make a run at Alexander eventually. I don't know if he wants a guaranteed starter spot, especially where we play the 4-2-5 as the base defense. But I don't know. We need one more linebacker, I think. It goes back to watching the waiver wire and cuts. Like you were saying, we got to do it at defensive tackle. We're probably going to have to watch linebackers too, I think.
True. But the thing that's – I saw the Good Morning Football piece on the Jets yesterday, and, they were talking about the defense and how piss poor it was last year. Like there's not anything else you could say about it. But something that we've looked forward to is complementary football, right?
Yep.
As the offense gets better, it'll help the defense and vice versa, right? They're both rising together equally. If we can get to mid-teens on offense and defense this year, I think that's fantastic. If we can get off the field on third down, get the offense right back out there and be the team that goes 10-play drive, scores, defense 3 and out, offense gets right back on the field and puts another field goal or touchdown up, and we can go on 10-0 runs to start a game instead of being down 10, 14, 17 or more, everyone gets better, right? The offense will be rested. The defense on the other team will be tired. Our defense will be rested for to hold down late game comebacks instead of being on the field for 37 minutes or more like we were sometimes last game. Just the whole team getting better and coaching. So I know someone mentioned earlier a concern was the coaching staff. A lot of people wanted Ulbrich fired. And my stance was you're not going to fire the guy because everyone knows the scheme isn't changing. Salah's running his scheme. The talent level was so bad. That's why we were so bad. And the guys who were getting hurt, we couldn't afford to get hurt because we hadn't had the depth yet. I think this is a year where you finally look at both sides of the ball and say, we're competent enough as starters where some of our backups now got experience last year and could step in and play. Right? There's guys like Hall. He's been a starter for 2 years. Now he's a backup. The water level's rising to where now the backups will be quality players, and we don't have to worry about them shitting the bed when they do get their chance. What do you think?
I think you can't make scheme fit roster moves in one off season. Like thinking that Joe Douglas could put in LaFleur's offense and Ulbricht's defense with the 22 players and, like you said, depth, that was impossible for both sides of the ball to be successful. You could put little pieces in here, but I think you look at free agency and you can look at the draft and you could see where they felt the biggest gaps were to making their systems work, right? How many wide receivers have we added over the last 2 years? It's pretty obvious LaFleur didn't feel like when they got here that they had the receivers to run his version of the West Coast offense, right? It's pretty obvious after 1 year of self-scouting that we needed to upgrade running back, right? You don't trade up in round 2 for Breece Hall because you feel like you have that cutback day one starting workhorse running back, right? And Carter needs to stay healthy. Elijah Moore needs to stay healthy too. But they put some pieces in. And then you flip it to the defensive side for Ulbrich. I mean, this isn't news to Jets fans, guys. We haven't had a pass rush in decades. Decades. It's more than 10 years, right? It's literally going back to the late 90s that we had consistent, unless you're going to go Calvin Pace and Ellis, I guess. But
that pass rush was built off Cromartie and Revis covering everybody.
Right. Even when
that was a lot of coverage. Jason Taylor at the end of his career, Sean Ellis almost 10 years in, Brian Thomas, serviceable guy. But those guys were getting home because the coverage shut everything down on the back end.
Yeah. And
there was a lot of coverage sacks with that group.
Yeah. So we're looking to generate a pass rush and create turnovers, which is why there's heavy investment in corners, heavy investment on the outside. And I could see next year the plan's obviously going to be strength in the middle, right? Safety, linebacker, and defensive tackle, whether that's re-signing Quinnen and Quincy. But they're going to have to put some investment there, either in draft capital, financially, or both.
Maybe even a center, right? Both sides. Get your strength right up the gut.
They finished, in my opinion, the offensive scheme, right? Did they give LaFleur the tight ends that he needs? Did they give him the wide receivers, the running backs, the O-line, and the depth behind it? And you can see that all the pieces that Joe Douglas needed to do for the offense, he's definitely put his chess pieces in there. And now, to your point, some of the comments coming in, now those pieces got to gel. The defense, I still feel like, is 65, 70% of the way there. the Whiteheads, the Sauce, the Reed, the Carter II, the defensive ends on the outside, and Quincy and Quinnen in the middle, I think you can feel like we have the pieces. We probably still got 30%. So Ulbrich isn't going to pitch shutouts with this roster, guys. He's not. I think we still got some pieces to fill.
And the biggest compliment to that defense will be time of possession on offense. Like if we have the ball 34, 35 minutes a game, now we're helping the defense, right? We're going to win some games 17-16. A lot of 49er football scores we're going to have. We're not going to have 35, 30 shootouts every week. We might have a 2017 game against the Ravens. But you know what? If we're holding them to 17, under 20 points, we should be able to win a lot more games. Because our offense, which last year scored 17.2 a game, we talked on Friday night saying if we can get to 24, we're going to win a lot more games. If we're scoring a touchdown more a game and the defense gets better, we're going from here to here. It was just 500 football, right? 8-9, 9-8. I think we would all sign up for that right now.
Yeah, let's stop giving up 30 points a game like we did last year. I think it's 29.8 or 29.9. I forget what it is, but it's 29 point something, which is too much.
Yeah.
You cannot be giving up 30 points a game and expect to win football games, especially with young team, right? And it's young top to bottom. Everyone's like, well, Zach Wilson is young. No, Moore is young. Wilson is young. Carter is young. Hall is young. Becton is still 23 years old. Like, this is a young team. So don't put them down, like you said, 10, 13, 17, nothing at half where everyone's trying to play hero football.
Yeah. Yes, he has. Andrew, welcome, buddy. If you're new to the channel, man, please throw a sub and enjoy your time here with us, man. We're going over some previews. What to look forward to in training camp. So you brought up the D-line. Coach is on hot seat. I don't think they're on the hot seat, man, because Joe Douglas knows how young this roster is. I think Salah gets this year and next year. Easy. Yeah. Unless it's 4 wins each year, then he's gone. But I don't see 4 wins anymore. I see the talent level rising, and I see them building the type of team that they want. And the camaraderie between Joe Douglas and Robert Salah, I love it. I love it. These are the guys we want leading our team. I think Salah is going to be here a very long time.
The only way that the coach is on the hot seat, and he wouldn't be on the hot seat because of this season, it would be next season, to your point, is obviously there's a couple places, and I know people who follow you follow everything else on social media, right? I think ESPN, and there was one other site that had us getting the #1 overall pick. And if for some reason we win 2 games or 1 game or 3, because it's 3 games or less to get the #1 overall pick, guys. If for some reason some disaster happens, and it would have to be a disaster, because even if you had to play Flacco with these wide receivers and stuff, I would still expect 5 wins, like 5 or 6 wins.
Yeah.
But if we landed the #1 pick, I would say everybody's on the hot seat. Joe Douglas, the whole everybody.
Yeah.
But this is still.
I don't see it, though. I don't see it. Like, it would have to take catastrophic injury after catastrophic injury. And I don't see that happening. I see us picking between 12 and 15, right? Just outside of a playoff team, you know, that 7, 8, 9 win mark. I think up to 18 is a playoff team. So, 12
I'll sound like a homer. I'll say 12 to 24. Like somewhere, like they could
18 to 24 is a playoff team.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They could sneak in, but they have to have breaks. And guys, the one thing that Jets, and I'm not comparing, right? Everyone's like, could the Jets be this year's Bengals? Well, let me take a break. We don't have to be the Bengals. The Bengals made the playoff, guys, by 1 game. Okay, San Diego was 9-8. The Bengals were 10-7. The Bengals almost missed the playoffs by 1 game, and we wouldn't even be talking about like, oh, the Bengals, look how great they were last year. They just barely made the playoffs. So you just got to get to the tournament and then see what happens. 10 games, and you sneak into that spot, kind of like the Bengals did. And you just got to be healthy when the tournament starts, which they had all 3 #1 receivers. They had all 3 receivers, Joe Mixon, Azuma. Dude, how many teams go into the playoffs and have all 3 wide receivers healthy? Their left tackle healthy. Their starting running back, Jesse Bates, is healthy. A miracle. The Jets, if we could have that, even without Jamar Chase, just have our wide receivers healthy, we would be ecstatic. We're not used to that.
I'll take it in September. If we get through September with everyone healthy, you're talking about January. Let's get through September with everyone, or let's get to week 1 with everyone healthy after what happened to Carl Lawson last year. And that actually brings me to the next thing. I mentioned it earlier. We were talking on your page, and I said the self-assessment of the coaching staff at the end of the season with the importance and the value of getting to week 1 healthy. We all know the Carl Lawson injury last year, but there were some other little ones where we weren't really at full strength ever last year. And I think you're going to see some quick draws on the starters in the preseason games. You're going to have a short leash with them. You're going to want to get them out. Granted, we're not the most veteran of teams, but it's more important to have your main guys for week 1 than it is to have them in the second quarter of a game against Atlanta in the preseason. So the fact that we know who our starters are and there's not a lot of competition for spots, I think will help the coaching staff have a shorter leash and get these guys to week 1 healthy.
Yeah, that's exactly what I think some Jets fans are going to be a little upset about. And because I've seen it in the forum, like everyone gets all worked up. And I'm like, man, like the players aren't the only ones maturing, to your point. The coaches are maturing too, right? They're a first-time head coach, first-time offensive coordinator. Like I know Ulbrich has been a defensive coordinator several times. But guys, they're learning too. They're learning how to push these players' buttons because this is the first time they've ever worked with these players. They're also learning when to be more bubble wrap than not. Last year was a big year for install, and they'll still be doing a lot of install for philosophy because we had so much roster turnover. But you're going to see more players than ever in bubble wrap, and you're not going to get to see them in the preseason. You're not going to get to see them working every practice. And the thing that always makes my head hurt is when fans are like, oh, my God, that's unprecedented. And I'm like, whoa, guys. Jimmy Johnson never played his starter.
Excuse me, real quick. I got old Jets breaking news. They just signed Rashard Davis, wide receiver, punt returner, agrees to deal with the Jets after leading the USFL in return yardage.
Oh, wow.
So now you don't have to throw Berrios out there in the preseason, right?
Yeah.
Give the guy a chance. Who knows? Maybe he makes the squad.
Yeah, definitely going to be a special – and like I said, have a guy other than Berrios returning kicks and punts. Like if he's going to be more involved in the offense, it'll be interesting to see. But I won't be shocked if Lawson doesn't get a lot of snaps, and even in practice, you're not going to see him taking a lot of hits. Becton's not going to take a lot of hits. George Fant is not going to take a lot of hits and not going to get much work in the preseason. There's going to be guys that they're like, I need them at close to 100% when the season starts. Quinnen, but Elijah Moore entire preseason and got off to a slow start. So even some of the rookie players like the Garrett Wilsons, you might get him like a couple series. Guys, some of these guys are going to go in bubble wrap. We cannot have Breece Hall not ready for week 1 the way we didn't have Elijah Moore last year. We can't have we got to be ready for week 1. And I think that's what we got to focus on. And Saleh and team will focus on.
Yeah, agreed. Like, I don't care. I mean, last year the preseason moment was what? The Hail Mary to Yeboah, right?
Yeboah, yeah. And the
Yeboah never even played. Like he barely played in the season. Like the preseason moments don't dictate what your season's going to be. Just get there healthy. It's tryouts basically, right? It's scrimmages and tryouts. When I coached Pop Warner, I knew my main dudes on defense. I didn't put them in the scrimmage. I was trying the kids in positions to see who can maybe stand out at a new position or positions I can't put kids at because I can't trust them there, right? Kind of like the same thing in the NFL. You're seeing, does this guy show flashes? And how many years have we had a guy who was a standout guy in the preseason never even make the damn team?
Yeah, David.
I can't remember his name, but we had one receiver years ago who led the preseason in catches, yardage, touchdown, and he didn't even make an NFL roster that season. So you're playing. Go ahead.
Clowney. No, it was David
Clowney. So it's good. Kudos to you. It's not a memorable name. I remember 1999 or no 2000. I'm sorry, when Al Groh was the coach, and we ran the spread offense, the 5 wide receivers, the whole preseason. And there was an ESPN article that said, "Can the Jets score 500 points this season?" And I was like, this is the most stupidest thing I've ever seen in my entire life, because Vinny was running so many plays I think Vinny led the league in attempts and minutes played as a veteran quarterback in the 2000 preseason. And we had 5 games that preseason. So it was all BS. It's all smoke.
Yeah.
It's overreaction, man.
Yeah, fans get a little, the Mims story. That's an interesting one. That's a super interesting topic. We definitely haven't talked about it, but I'd be interested. Guys, just my opinion. This is Kevin Robbins. You don't know who I am. I'm nobody to most of you guys. But Mims is another Chris Herndon to me. I totally see JD. He's going to look good in practice. He's going to play in the preseason. Mims is going to play in the preseason. And Flacco is going to chuck and duck deep to Mims. And I'm just going to wait and see till some team's wide receiver goes down. Arizona, I would circle, right? Hopkins just got suspended 6 games. Maybe the Bears. You're seeing them making some roster moves right now. They just signed a starting tackle the week before training camp. Some team is going to lose a receiver or get somebody suspended, maybe the Colts or somebody like that, and come in and grab Mims. And if we get a 4th-round pick from Mims, guys, I'm shedding no tears.
No, you say Arizona. I got 2 words: Green Bay.
No, that would make sense to me.
Aaron Rodgers not being happy with the progression of or how the team looks. Green Bay can roll the dice and take some chances, right? You got Rodgers, what you're paying him at the end. I think Christian Watson is his Jordy Nelson. I think they're going to be fantastic together almost immediately. And he's got the vertical speed. He's got the size. Like, to me, he's Jordy Nelson 2.0. And that's what Rodgers loved, right? Go get Mims. If Mims ain't going to make the team here, I think Green Bay is the perfect place for him to land. Then it gives him a chance to play. I was big on Mims. Like, I love the draft. And my prediction 2 years ago was Becton in round 1, Mims in round 2, and nailed it. But both of those guys have had some big question marks. And when we traded down in round 2 that year, I thought we lost out on Mims, and then we still got him because Joe traded back once or twice, I think, in round 2 that year. And I hope the kid makes it. He's got big play written all over him. And I know he had the food poisoning, and then he had COVID. And when you get to week 18 last year, and I forget the guy's first name, the receiver, Black, who was a walk-on, was making catches in the game against Buffalo, and you still couldn't get on the field. Like, I know everyone's praising his offseason, but you want to fluff a guy up before trading him away, right? You want to make it look like this guy's worth getting, guys. Come on, buy my bait. I'm going to lay it out there. Come bite. He's worth trading for. So it's going to be curious to see what happens to him. 2 good things can happen with Mims. Blows everybody away and earns time, right? And pushes Berrios for the 4 receiver. Or he's good enough to trade and get some return for him.
Yeah, the whole thing, a lot of fans, especially on Twitter, talk about keeping him as a 5 receiver. And I'm not saying there's not value in that. But holistically, guys, we got 4 receivers ahead of him with Davis, Moore, Wilson, and Berrios. So you got 2 tight ends, Azuma and Wilson, and you got Hall and Carter at running back. It's not just that he's the 5th receiver. He's going to be the 10th or 11th or 12th option in the offense. And if you get to that number, your 10th, 11th, 12th option's got to be special teams guys like a Berrios, who's closer to 10 or 11th option. And can be I can contribute and get touches over here and get yards and productivity in the offense, right? So if you can give me Berrios is only going to get 10 to 12 snaps a game, guys, right? Because Davis, Wilson, and Elijah Moore are your top 3 receivers. And you got
a lot of multiple tight end sets, too.
Yeah, a lot of 2 tight end sets. Even Berrios, who Wilson likes, the offensive court, we just paid him. And still, he's going to get 10 or 12 snaps. There's only so many. So if he's number 5 receiver, you're talking maybe 2 or 3 snaps at best. And that's probably if there's an injury, he can work his way to 10 snaps. Why hold the roster spot for that? Why not get a 4th or a 5th? And I think
if we could design a T-shirt for Joe Douglas, it would say, "I heart roster flexibility." Yes. And that would be the Joe Douglas T-shirt that he wears, right? On the first day of free agency. I heart roster flexibility. Like you said, if you're the 5th, Jeff Smith, right? Is the other gunner with Hardy on special teams, 5th wide receiver.
Yep.
So it's
even the guy you said they just brought in. When they keep flipping stones on over, can this guy Davis play wide receiver? Maybe, but the value is going to be how can he help on specials, coverage, and return game. That's his only way to make the roster. And you're going to keep a guy who can play coverage and return kicks over a guy who can only be your number 5 receiver, number 4 if somebody gets hurt. It's just the law of managing an NFL roster.
Matt, not just disabled children, buddy. I know your situation, but it's any child. You give them a tablet, and that's a wrap. They sit down, man. You don't even know they exist for a little while.
For sure. For sure.
Oh, I want to show this again. Jets take. If you look at his profile photo, it's the CJ Uzoma from today showing up with the Time Person of the Year, the mom meme that came out with Zach Wilson. I know Dark Soldier wanted me to put that up earlier, so there it is.
Hey, good. All you can say is that we have a good culture, right? And it's funny because I remember when we got rid of Sam.
And how quickly has Joe Douglas turned the culture around here?
Oh, for sure. And
that's kudos to him, man.
Yeah, and nobody wanted to get rid of Sam because he was such a great interview. Everybody was like, he's such a nice guy, and he was, man. Getting rid of Sam doesn't mean like all of a sudden he's a bad guy. Like we lost lots of players who weren't bad guys over the years.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, McClendon just a couple of years ago, the nicest guy in the world.
And Joe did him such a solid, trading him to a contender, man.
Right?
Guy goes and gets a ring after being here until mid-October.
Yeah. And imagine going from one camp to the other camp and working with Tom Brady after.
Yeah.
But literally going from that personality that was Sam Darnold, Mr. Nice Guy, to what we see with Zach Wilson has been like night and day. Like there's just an electricity and a good culture and a good camaraderie, even above and beyond when it was fine with Sam Darnold. So kudos for getting that talent in here, but also like he still had to put in the work, Zach Wilson, right? It's not just enough to be the personality in the locker room. He went above and beyond. I've been thoroughly impressed. I don't know how you can't be as a Jets fan.
Jets fans are habitual optimism people, right? Like every year, this is the year. Our but Jimmy and I started Proud New York Jets fans a few years ago when the negativity in New Era was at like its peak, and I was like, bro, like we need to start something on the side where it's not so much negative, not homerism, but looking forward at the positives, right? Because I always say, for fans who put time, money, effort, now doing podcasts, a lot of us do, putting all this energy into something and coming in with a negative doomsday, PTJD, I say all the time, post-traumatic Jets disorder. Like we're all in a bad relationship, right? But we're still hoping. It's like the girlfriend who might cheat on you all the time. You're like, man, I think this might still work out. That's us as Jets fans. Like that's our mentality. Like, well, I'm going to try to find a way for it to happen, but it's always gloom and doom. And it's fun to collectively watch all of us come together and know it's not bullshit or smoke and mirrors, right? Or not just, pie in the sky type of mentality. There's actual substance to us being optimistic now. There's actual layers of this team being built. The salary cap is fixed. The offensive line is almost finished. The weapons, the tight ends, the running back, the offensive system. We don't need Zach Wilson to be Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers. You just need to be a better Jimmy Garoppolo and hit that open throw to Elijah Moore in the Super Bowl that Jimmy Garoppolo overthrew, and we get a ring. The defense is going to be awesome. The offensive line is going to be spectacular. The running game is going to be top-notch. Zach being a 12 to 15 quarterback in this league might just damn well be good enough to run the gauntlet in the AFC with all these quarterbacks. You know well, defense and run game travel anywhere, any place, anytime, any conditions. That's going to be our bread and butter.
Yeah, the thing that's going to help, the thing that separates him from the Jimmy G's of the world, and I totally agree with everything that you said, is that he has the live arm. And
he'll make that throw.
Yeah, if you do put an offense, if we do build our offense around the run game, which all signs point to some optimism there, you are going to be scared to death to cheat with your safeties up because at any time that arm can put the ball 60 yards in the air, and Wilson and Moore and Davis are fast enough to get it.
Yeah.
And you also got tight ends that if the safeties are up, that Conklin can beat you over the middle. And you don't want to leave linebackers on Moore or Wilson, who will both be shifty guys that motion in and out of the center, right? They're going to shift and go back inside, outside. And you also have Conklin and Azuma, like in the middle too. So if you're going to leave linebackers, you're going to cheat a safety up and leave a linebacker on Wilson, Moore, Conklin, like it's trouble. So I think with his arm, that's the one thing that you could say. It's almost like Stafford, right? And I'm not saying he's shown he's Stafford yet, but Stafford has that arm where it's like if you had given him running game a long time ago and some decent receivers, that's the one thing that Wilson can separate himself from the pack.
Yeah. So, it's your first time here. Let me hear your prediction. I know I'm not a win-loss guy. Although I said it earlier, 7, 8, 9. I see us being around a 500 team this year.
That's what I would say too. Like I would say cautiously optimistic, like every Jets fan should be every season. That's literally the 2 words I would say, cautiously.
Unless you're Jimmy and you're like 13 wins every year.
I'll never tell him you said that, by the way. Mr.
I tell him all the time. He's like 13 wins every season.
I say, worst case I think is 7. Worst case is 7 and 10. But yeah, I would say 8, 9, 9 and 8. Like that would put us right in there because young teams do 2 things. They win games they're not supposed to because teams overlook them because they're preparing for their divisional game that's the week after or something like that. But then you also lose games you're not supposed to.
You're supposed to, exactly.
Some teams, you're going to be like, I had Tua on the ropes, going into the 4th quarter, and somehow some freak thing happens like they complete a screen pass on 3rd and 20 that he runs 23 yards, right? The Frank Gore play where you're like, how do you lose this game? You find a way to do it. So the Jets are going to win some games. That's going to get you guys excited. They might beat the Bills. They might shock, Cincinnati early in the season. But
then lose to the Bears.
They have a team on the ropes. And you're going to be like, how did you give up? Or what, that pick six or that drop pass wide open over the middle? Because he's 22, reading a defense and running the appropriate route, where it just happens, guys. Yeah. So 8, 9 wins, you see growth, and you see next year them having to get 2 more pieces, re-sign a couple pieces, and add 2 pieces, just like the Chargers went from 9 and 8 and not in the playoffs, have never made it, and they were like, but we're 1 or 2 pieces away. That's where you want the Jets to be at the end of the year. We figured out quarterback, figured out skill positions, probably 3 or 4 out of our offensive linemen. We're solid. We know these are the guys we want. And you're like, I'm plugging in this, I'm trading for a J.C. Jackson or whatever our version of that is. And now we're making our run. Next year is the big run year.
Yeah. I've said since the Jamal Adams trade, 2024 AFC favorites, that Joe is going to build the line. He's going to get the pass rushers. The quarterback's going to evolve. He'll be going into year 4. That's the year where next year, maybe make the play. 2023, maybe make the playoffs, wild card team. You see some, or that Charger type of game where you get eliminated the last week, the last game of the season, right? And then you go all in. You know what I want on this team? You mentioned it earlier. It's the part that gives you agita. I need a Chris Jenkins.
Yes.
I need that tackle who is going to take 2 dudes and throw them into the running back. Yep. And everybody else on the line can eat. And I stand on this hill and I will die on it. If Chris Jenkins doesn't get hurt in September of 2010, we beat Pittsburgh and Green Bay in the Super Bowl, and we win a Super Bowl. If we have Chris Jenkins and Leon Washington that entire season, we win the Super Bowl that year. And Chris Jenkins getting hurt, as good as Buha did filling in, losing Chris Jenkins, even though we made the AFC Championship, still without him, was catastrophic to the ultimate goal. We need that guy who can just move it. Jordan Davis was somebody I was big on. I get what we did. I love Jordan. I'm a Georgia guy.
I love Garrett Wilson, but in my head, I thought Jordan Davis might be the sleeper pick at 10. I really did.
I thought Joe was going to trade up for either Jordan Davis or Jermaine. I did a full round 1 mock on I do a podcast with 2 guys, an all sports podcast, IOW Sports Network.
Yep.
And I'm like the draft guru, and I do all the mocks and everything, and I did ones the whole offseason. I had the Jets trading up with the Titans, but I had it for Nakobe Dean. Like, I knew the Jets were going to move up, and I'm like, linebacker, or are they going to move up for Jordan Davis, or are they going to move up for Jermaine? I had Jermaine fall to 29 because I just don't know why. I just thought nobody else was taking an edge rusher with all the other needs. But I was like, when I'm doing it that day, and maybe it's my Georgia Jet bias that I want to build the defense that Georgia has. And as I'm doing it, I'm like, I can't see Jordan Davis falling that far, and I can't see Joe trading up that far. But I wouldn't be shocked if he went and got Jordan Davis, because you have the edge rusher, right? You got Lawson, you got Quinnen. You put a mountain of a man next to Quinnen, and Quinnen can go one-on-one with guards, and him and Lawson are one-on-one on the other side of the field because you line Jordan Davis or somebody of that mass in the A-gap where the center and the guard both have to take him on. That whole D-line is gonna eat. But we're just missing that Chris Jenkins type.
Yeah, no, even when we traded up in round 2, I thought it could be the kid from UConn, that big defensive tackle.
Travis Jones?
Yep. Yeah, Jones. Yep. What do we got comments coming fast and furious. How do you think the offense?
Yeah, my keypad, the pad on here is flipping out. As I'm trying to scroll, it's like it's selected.
It's like you try to pay attention and read at the same time, and
maybe you're trying to make your point and not get distracted.
Than me.
I don't know how I feel if the Jets are AFC favorites before the season starts. I know. Yeah, I hear you, man. Especially
Dude, that Ravens game. Sorry, that Ravens game that was in the comments right before yours, Dark Soldier. And I don't mean to completely skip yours because I'm sure we got good information coming here. Man, that is going to be such a matchup. Are you kidding? Our young receivers, and even though they have really good cornerbacks and Humphrey and Jason Peters and everything, that's going to be really interesting. It's going to be super interesting because even though everyone talks up their defense, I mean, did Joe Burrow have a hard time? Like, he threw for 450 yards. Jamar Chase had 210 yards receiving against those DBs. So I'm going to be super interested in how we try to
266.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
I thought it was 10 catches for 266 and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, against and Humphrey played that week. So
can you imagine the chaos in Jets Twitter world and the podcast world if a rookie, Garrett Wilson or Elijah Moore, puts that game up week 1 against Baltimore?
No. Even if we win,
we will be unbearable on the internet. Every other fan, the other 31 teams will have to block every Jet fan on Twitter because we will be unbearable to deal with.
Now, if we beat Lamar Jackson's comeback game, if we take them down like week 1, if we just win, he doesn't even need to have 260 something. If Zach Wilson and the defense finds a way to beat the Ravens to start the season, Twitter will be on fire. It'll just be like you open it and there'll just be flames everywhere. Every Jets fan is going to be predicting playoffs after week 1. That's going to be. Are you going to that game, Nick?
I'm in the hangar. Are you in the hangar?
Yeah. Yep.
Awesome.
I'll be up there with the flight deck crew.
Nice.
Over with Gotham City.
Nice. Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm telling because I got a tailgate group I've been in, but I'm definitely going to pop over for most of the day. My channel, I'm still small potatoes, right? With everyone going, my thing. Me and my son are in the hangar, and he's going to have the lanyard with a QR code for my YouTube page, and he's going to be taking pictures of everyone the entire day. Scan the QR code, go to my page, subscribe, and then either Sunday night or most likely with me drinking all day, Monday, I'll put together a video collage of the day, like a video, and everyone see it. And then have, you, Green Bean, Jets 24/7, Jets Central, Matt O'Leary, everyone shares to be like, yo, this is the day we had yesterday. Check this out, and get a huge amount of traffic to my page to help grow the page. So that was like my little, give my boy something to do since he can't drink. Dude, go around, just take pictures of everybody in the group, and in the hangar indoors, have it take pictures of everyone, and then we'll put a video together.
That's going to be awesome.
And it'll be cool for everyone to have, right? It's the first time we're all getting together, and hopefully we're getting to be a good team. We do this opening day every year. Yeah. And it becomes, like a regular thing for us.
I still can't believe you're giving him homework on the first date on a Sunday, man. That's rough.
Say again. I couldn't hear you.
Giving homework on a Sunday. He's like got his little science project he's gonna put together or something. That's gonna be pretty cool. I look forward to it.
Yeah. It's definitely going to be a blast, and we'll connect. I'll definitely see you up there. South Orange should be top 10.
Top 10 O lines. That could be. Yeah. I mean, obviously, guys. If Zach Wilson has time, if Zach Wilson had time last year, he would have been top 20. I'm telling you right now. If he has time, the kid.
And if he played with his receivers. Like he didn't play with receivers much.
Okay. But you saw how he mentally approached the second half of the season. Everyone focuses on the 9 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. But the point was he wasn't forcing things. He wasn't playing superhero ball. So if you give him time, he's going to be fine. How many times do I have to block you?
I think him and Aaron have seen each other.
Oh, okay.
Aaron, we absolutely know what Baltimore's defense brings to the table. I think Jets fans are finally having confidence in our offensive line where we're not going to be manhandled anymore. We might start to do some manhandling. Granted, we're not looking past the Ravens. We're not shitting on the Ravens. But I think
we're not the Bengals yet. But the Bengals shit on you. Do you forget what your magnificent defense? Dude, Humphrey played in that game. And they smoke you, and they're not scared of you. And that was in Baltimore. You lost 45-10. You lost 45-10 at home. I live in Maryland. Your defense hopefully will be better next year. But, guys, you also lost Wink, your defensive coordinator. Do you want me to talk about the Ravens right now? You're putting in a new system, new philosophies, new players. Half of them are coming back from injuries on the road. This is the time to play your defense when everyone's learning it. And no one is scared of your defense. I just want you to know. You're scared of the Bengals. The Bengals are not scared of you. Just circle that. Put it on your Ravens calendar. Get excited because they're going to beat you again if Joe Burrow is healthy. I just want you to know that. Now you got
some other comments that came in. I'm trying to get Ronald's. Where's the S, Ronald? I'm going through all the comments, waiting for the S. I put the J-E-T and then no more.
He forgot.
I don't think. Let me get. I'll play into this. I think the Jets are going in a good direction. This young will compete hard this season. Also, agreed. And I think that's where we're at. Like we know, Baltimore Week 1 at home is a huge measuring stick game. We go out and lay an egg, lose 30-6. It's going to be the end of the world, right? It's going to be 9/11 again, like for the Jets fans. It's going to be like the end of the world, the biggest catastrophe that could possibly happen in a sense of football, right? I'm not trying to compare it to that, but the game's on 9/11. It's going to be end of the world. This is the worst thing ever. We go out, we lose a 23-20 game in overtime to Baltimore. I think it's going to suck to lose the game like that, but I think it's going to show that we can compete with a perennial playoff contender. And that, in the big picture, is going to make Jets fans feel really good. We go out and we win the game, we're probably going to be unbearable on the internet till the following game. Like that's how I see it.
Lamar Jackson, I agree. It's a huge measuring stick because I already said Humphrey, Peters. They drafted Kyle Hamilton, the slow
Marcus Williams, right? They brought their safeties could be the best
Marcus
in football.
Williams. And then they got, like I said, a new defensive coordinator. Got Calais Campbell coming back. I mean, they're an exciting team. If I'm the Ravens, it's like, hey, I'm ready. But you also, for the Jets fans, this is the time to play the Ravens.
Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Breaking news. Julio Jones to Tampa Bay.
This is his last shot.
He's ring hunting, right? He's ring hunting.
For sure. I didn't even know. Wow, that shocks me. They got to move.
Put him at tight end and let him be Gronk. He'll have a huge year.
I wonder if they're going to put Godwin. I love Godwin. I'm a Penn State alum, so I'm a little biased. But
okay.
Godwin, Godwin, Julio, and Evans. I mean, it's a good red zone offense for sure. For sure. Good luck to them. Oh, they got Rudolph too, didn't they? They got Rudolph out of Minnesota.
I think they did. And kudos to my son. My son texted me a minute ago, Julio to the Bucs, and then the Bleacher Report comes in. So my son is quicker than Bleacher Report on my phone because he's 13. He follows. He signed up for alerts for every NFL team, every NBA team, every MLB team. Like my son is probably Bleacher Report's MVP fan because he's probably the only one that follows every single team. He'll get the alert, and 2 minutes later, I get an alert. And I'm like, what the hell, man? How you getting this quicker than me all the time?
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. How old is he?
13. He's going into high school.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's fun. Oh, here it is. S. There we go. Ron got the S in. There we go.
Yeah. All kinds of exciting stuff's going on. Let's see. What else we got?
You got anything on your mind?
No, I mean, honestly, I'm really excited about the first 5 games. I saw it's funny how the schedule evolves, right? How when the schedule first drops and everyone was like, oh my God, this looks impossible. And that Cleveland game looks very, very different, right? A Pittsburgh team with Trubisky. You got that opening game against Lamar. You got Burrow in there and then Tua. Those first 5 games that we have, when you look at those teams, and I'm glad Baltimore's at home. I would much rather be playing them in MetLife than at M&T. M&T is a great stadium for the record. I know everyone craps on Baltimore. I love going to M&T Stadium.
Yeah. You're down there, right?
Yeah.
Aren't
well,
you in
I live
Washington,
in
Baltimore area?
I'm in Northeast DC. Yep.
Okay.
No, I live right in Washington, DC.
Okay.
But I go to, Nats Park and, Camden Yards, and then I got M&T right up the street. There's some great stadiums, in the area, to be honest. And MetLife is just a punch in the face. I love our fans, but guys, when I get to see Atlanta Stadium and the Raiders Stadium, and you see all these new stadiums, and you're like, oh, we're at MetLife, that kind of thing. Where's our fireworks? One day, guys, we're gonna get our stadium. It
was built generically because of the fact that it's shared. So you couldn't.
It feels it though, right? It feels generic.
Yeah.
It's about as bland and vanilla ice cream as you can get.
Yeah, it's like a Pop Warner team playing at the local high school. There's no home field advantage. You know what I mean? It's generic. And it's so damn expensive with the wages that unions make up here to build it. That's why it's so much more expensive than other stadiums. And it's so less. The quality is just dog shit.
Oh, for sure.
Granted, they do their best to try to change it over with the lights and inside the stadium, but
yeah, the aesthetic stuff, 100%. And then you come up to games if you go to some of the Nats Park out here, which isn't even new anymore. It's 8 or 9 years old. Man, they got arcades in there. You can go play PlayStation. They're playing 2K tournaments during the football game, and you're at MetLife, and you're or you go to Hard Rock in Miami, and I'm like, man, why can't we have a damn stadium like Hard Rock, as an example? It's a great stadium. I would agree. I think you meant beat, not bet on the Ravens, but maybe you're betting on the Ravens and hoping we beat them. But I think we can win that game.
We beat them by 3, we beat them, but
right.
by 3, not the 3.5 that we're getting right now. So you win the bet and we win the game. It's a win-win, right?
100%. But no, guys, I think that's a big circle game. That could get the season off on the right, and I think we can win.
Agreed, 100%, man.
For those that a couple Jet fans say that they live in the DC area, the DC Jets group is the Capital Jets. They meet up at Irish Channel Bar in DC on Sundays.
That's separate from the Virginia Jets fans, right?
That's
DC
different.
its own thing because Adam, who was on here, is vice president of the Virginia Jets fans.
Oh, I wonder if it's I think that's different. I think it's different.
Okay.
I could be wrong. I could confirm with him.
Okay.
But I know the DC Jets, it's Capital Jets. They usually come up to MetLife once a year. But they have an Irish Channel Bar, which is great, man. I always love Irish bars, to be honest with you, right?
Can't go wrong with an Irish bar.
Oh, yeah. And it's an Irish Jets bar. So it's money if you're in the DC area. So
the green fits for both, right?
Yep.
It's a good color scheme there. Everybody's in green.
Fantastic place. I actually have a couple. The guy JR who produces the Weapons Hot show and Jets Guru.
Okay.
Him and I usually go to 2 or 3 of the games over at Irish Channel. So definitely recommend following their Facebook page. I feel old saying follow their Facebook page, but that's what I said.
Right.
What else we got in there in the comments?
I actually got to bounce. I got the boy coming over for the rest of the week, and I got to get a couple things rectified before he gets here. I got to hit the store so I can feed this freaking eating machine. It's insane.
Right.
Man. You feed the kid, he's like, "Oh, I'm full." An hour and a half later, "Daddy, I'm hungry." "You didn't finish what you ate last time." Like I've turned into my father. God rest his soul.
That's what every parent is like. Every parent. I even when you say the dad jokes, and as it comes out of your mouth, you're like, "Oh my god, that sounds so much like my dad right now." That wasn't even funny, and I still had to say it.
Yeah, I get it. I want to thank everybody. I want to thank Kevin for joining us, bro. Thank you. Tell everybody again where they can find you, because there's some people in here now who weren't when you originally joined.
Yeah, so there's a couple live rounds on Facebook is where you'll hear me talk the most. Jets Guru on Thursday, including this Thursday, also on Facebook, and they're on Twitter as well, the Jets Guru. You'll be seeing our YouTube channel probably in a little while. Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Follow Kev, join my page, Proud New York Jets Fans, and we will connect. We'll talk. Like I said, we do Friday nights. We do. I'm a big list guy, so like every week we do like top 5 favorite moments in Jets history. This week we did top 5 like most disappointing moments in Jet history, because if you talk in Jets history, obviously it's not all good. So yeah. So it's fun. We have a good time. We hang out. It's more of like a laid back show. We do a lot of laughs. You got an open invite, man. We'll connect on Twitter, and whenever you want to join, let me know. And if you ever want me to come on your show, man, throw it out. I'm always looking to talk Jets football, brother.
Thank you, sir. All right. Enjoy the training camp, everybody.
Enjoy training camp. Thank you for joining, everybody. And as always, be loud, be proud, New York Jets fans. Take care.